Canada-based businessman sues PPP activist. GRA says quit giving us bad checks. And government seeking firm to evaluate Uaru project. I'm Enrico Bulford, and this is Uncut News. Do you see news happening? Send us a tip on WhatsApp at 592-659-6151. Canadian-based Guyanese businessman and director of the local company Ideal Supplies Incorporated, here lol, non-lol, has filed a $700 million defamation lawsuit in the High Court against PPP activist and known cyberbully Victor Singh. The businessman, Herlol Nandalal, said he is suing Victor Singh for false, defamatory, and libelous statements that were posted in a Facebook group named PPPC Family. The businessman is claiming $50 million for each post that was made, all of which were made over the course of a year. He said Singh also harassed him with fake accounts as well. Nandalal had repeatedly reported the matter to the cybercrime unit of the GPF, but no action was taken. A $100,000 reward is being offered to anyone with information on Singh's whereabouts. Singh has found himself the subject of several police complaints over the years, but nothing ever seems to come of these complaints. Anyway, I hope something will actually happen this time, but I won't hold my breath. Guyana's first online ferry booking system will be launched on Saturday for persons traveling across the Essequibo River along the Parika-Supanan route by the Transport and Harbours Department website, according to Acting Director of Tourism Kamral Bash. So, starting tomorrow, next time you want to cross the river, just go to the website and buy a ticket. Don't ask me what the website is because they ain't paying us to promote it. The hearing of the challenge to the non-appointment of a substantive Chancellor and Chief Justice has been set for November 23rd. The Attorney General has been ordered to file submissions no later than October 23rd. Despite the fact that Justices Yonette Cummings-Edwards and Roxanne George have been serving in the acting capacity of the roles of Chancellor and Chief Justice for almost 5 years now, their appointments have yet to be made official. So apparently the opposition believed that this lawsuit was a good way to speed up the process. You know, instead of actually having placed pressure on the president who actually allowed this in the first place. One man in Wisma-Linden was left homeless after an unattended flambeau burned down his home last night. According to reports, the fire started around 9 p.m., and even though the fire service responded promptly, the flames quickly ripped through the small wooden house, destroying in minutes. Also in Linden, 53-year-old construction worker Calvin Kroll was on Thursday slapped with an attempted murder charge. Kroll is accused of shooting Linden businessman Nigel Summersall over a disagreement several days ago. He was remanded to prison. Meanwhile, Summersall is still hospitalized. The GRA is now warning that you could go to jail if you give them a bad check. In view of the increasingly prevalent practice of giving dishonored checks to the GRA, the tax authority is now advising the general public that taxpayers and their representatives making payments by dishonored checks to the authority may be subject to blacklisting and even possible prosecution and imprisonment under the Criminal Law Offences Act, Chapter 8/01. Dishonored checks due to insufficient funds will be blacklisted and not allowed to make payments by personal checks for a minimum period of 6 months in the first instance, 12 months in the second instance, and permanently thereafter. Your home is your most valuable asset. So before you sign on the dotted line, call VJS Home Inspections. They are a licensed and insured home inspection company with professionals operating in the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, Long Island, and Westchester County. From electrical and plumbing issues to a leaky roof. If there's a fault in the house, VJS will find it using the latest industry technology, including infrared scanners, HD drones, and more. So if you're buying or selling a home in New York, make the smart choice. Call VJS Home Inspections at 914-513-9356 and tell them Noriko sent you. It might not be robbery season, but the streets are still mean. That's why you need to get security for your home and business through Sheriff Security Service. Sheriff Security offers well-trained guards, armed and unarmed patrol, Marine Patrol, K-9 services. These people even got drones. Why? Because your security is their highest priority. You've seen the rest, now hire the best. Hire Sheriff Security Service today. On Friday, 30-year-old Suraj Singh and 55-year-old Maurice Van Slootman, both of quarantine puppies, were remanded to prison after they were charged with possession of over 126 kilos of cannabis for the purpose of trafficking. They both pleaded not guilty and were refused bail. Both men were remanded to prison until October 21st. On Thursday, 63-year-old businessman Moses Singh was freed of a murder charge after senior magistrate Leron Daly upheld a no-case submission. He was on remand for allegedly murdering 21-year-old Sian Clark on October 20th, 2016 at Pearl Village, East Bank, Demerara. However, Singh's lawyer successfully argued that there was no evidence linking him to the vigilante killing. Clark and a friend of his were both accused of attempting to rob a shop. A group of people then hunt them down and someone shot them in the process. Yesterday, 45-year-old businessman Dorwayne Best was charged with conspiracy to commit felony extortion. He pleaded not guilty to the charge. Best was released on $100,000 bail and will be back in court November 1st. Meanwhile, the GPF issued a wanted bulletin for overseas-based Guyanese Rickford Burke in relation to the same crime. As expected, Burke denies the crime, calling the investigation another example of state-sanctioned victimization against him. With its annual and salary negotiations underway, Daewoo is seeking an across-the-board 16% increase of salary for sugar workers. Currently, the negotiating parties are reviewing the financials of the corporation to determine whether or not Gaisuko is in a financial position to grant the proposed increase. While things have been difficult for Gaisuko in recent years, the union is holding out hopes that the 16% increase will be possible. Although, come on, it should be because they're getting billions of dollars in funding from the government, but hey, what do I know? Now for today's oil update. The World Bank recently gave the government about US $20 million towards the cost of the Guyana Petroleum Resources Governance and Management Project. As such, the Ministry of Natural Resources is using some of the financing to find a consulting firm to help review and evaluate ExxonMobil's Uaru project. The consulting firm is expected to provide advisory services, technical support, and training, as well as capacity strengthening services to the government of Guyana. Now it's time to tell you about Best Buy's Car of the Week. Currently on sale is this 2016 Toyota Crown Athlete. It comes with Bluetooth marked rims, new tires, TV, CD, stereo, fog lamp, spot camera, and much, much more. Buy cash for $9.95 million, or pay as low as $1.99 million down with around $170,000 monthly for 5 years, and it is yours. Call or WhatsApp 662-0844 for more info. Visit the showrooms at Lot 171 Peter Street, Queenstown, Lot 2 Lamar Street, and tell them Rico sent you for this sweet deal. Are you a truck owner? Pay close attention. Avoid lengthy downtime when your truck broke down. Get high-quality DAF, International, Freightliner, Bedford TM, or Scammell truck parts at the lowest prices at Powered Automotive. Visit them at Lot 1161 EE Eccles, or call them on telephone number 697-0171. Save big on truck parts at Powered Automotive, the #1 heavy-duty truck parts store in Guyana. Now for our Uncut News Viewers Poll question of the day. Every day we pose a question about current events in Guyana, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel it relates to us. Last night I asked, how accurate do you think the LGBTQ acceptance survey was? Adrian Juman says, I believe that this survey was limited. I never heard about it, but I do think that most Guyanese are in support. I have some very good friends that are part of the LGBT community. But it's the wrong people who give a bad impression of the gay and lesbian folks. It's just like women's rights. Wrong survey given to a selected demographic. Indeed, that's one way of looking at it. Richie K says the focus should be placed on catching and prosecuting child predators. Protecting the human rights of the innocent children should take top priority. The LGBTQ+ community benefits from this initiative as well, as it removes a negative spotlight from them and pointed it to where it belongs, on predators. Indeed, I agree. That's a very solid point. And finally, Tyrone James says, 1,000 persons accepting gay in the hinterland areas represents 750,000 of Guyana. Y'all stop the ignorance. So, before we get to tonight's question, you can multiply your cash by selling digital top-up. This is a legit way you can earn some extra money at your business or to supplement your current hustle. Become a top-up vendor quick and easy by linking with Cellular Plus. Call them on telephone number 685-3109 for more info. Now for tonight's question. The online ferry booking system for the Pirika Supanam ferry route is just the latest government service to be put online. What are some other government services do you think should be put online? I want you to think about that question. Tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in our next episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight, and check us out on Monday for another. Until then, I'm Rico Bulford saying, have a great weekend. And as always, don't drink and drive, or you'll end up on Monday's episode the hard way. Ha-ha! Good night, folks.